Hi, this is Brianna. I'm an entrepreneur and I'm using my journey to help you on your journey. Today, I want to talk to you about setting your intentions and knowing where you want to go. This conversation or this lesson or this comment was sparked by talking to somebody about setting up a blog. She's interested in blogging. And there are a couple things she said that made me feel like it's really necessary for me to talk about this. So if you're watching, don't be offended. This was a teaching opportunity, and I think we've all felt this way one time or another. So if you are in the process of starting something new or you're contemplating starting something new, this conversation's for you. If during this conversation you like my content, it resonates with you, please like the video. And if you want to stick around for more, if you want to continue on this journey with me, please subscribe. Somebody messaged me and asked, she said, what do you recommend for starting a blog? So we had a little bit of conversation about that. Then I asked her, does she have any intention of monetizing? Does she want to monetize? And she said no, she doesn't want to try to make any money off of it. And she teaches her kids that they can't just want to be YouTube stars. I thought a couple things about that. For one, it's very hard. Well, I shouldn't say it's very hard, but being a YouTube star, growing a blog, those things do take work. Not necessarily skill or talent all the time, but they definitely take work. And number two, why not? Why is it so bad to want to make money that way? Now, I feel that, well, I don't feel, the reason I asked her is because if she wants to monetize her blog, it needs to be self-hosted. She can't put her blog on WordPress.com or or Blogspot. It needs to be self-hosted. So we need to know that. And then she gave me a list of her possible topics. And I said, well, if you want to monetize, this second topic has the best opportunity for creating digital products and being affiliates for other people's products. The third option is best if you want to grow an audience. That's based on the research I've done, all the videos, books, blog posts. If you are a blogger, you want to have your niche as specific as possible, and then you will resonate with you'll resonate more strongly with the smaller group of people because you'll be talking specifically to them as opposed to being general and people feeling like your content is hit or miss. Another story. Anyway, so it was relevant, but what it made me realize is it's very important to know where you're going or what you want before you get started, because that's going to impact the actions you take along your way of creating whatever it is you want. So let's say you're 15 years old and you're a basketball player. What your actions are for making the JV basketball team are going to be a lot different than your actions if your goal was to be a college athlete. If you want to lose 1 pound in 6 months, those actions are going to look a lot different than trying to lose 100 pounds in 6 months. It's so necessary to know where you're going. The other thing that made me feel this was a good topic to talk about today was I told you in my last video that I'm starting a podcast. I was talking to a potential guest, and when I told her that I decided to add a podcast component, she said she was intimidated. When she said that, I was kind of like, intimidated? Like, no one's going to listen to this. But then I realized maybe I'm playing small. Maybe I need to have a bigger view of this because, I mean, why not? Why can it not be bigger than just something I do and a handful of people listen to? If I want my blog to make an actual impact and create a platform, what I do in the first 8 weeks is going to be totally different than if I want my podcast, I think I said blog before, than if I want my podcast to just be something that I create, something buried deep in the search on iTunes. And if I want to monetize my blog, my podcast, I need to have a platform. So it's so important that I know where I'm going in order to set myself up to actually accomplish those things, as opposed to having no vision whatsoever and just putting something out there. Yeah, I could make it where I want to go, but it's going to be easier if I set out with quality standards, if I do appropriate marketing, if I take advantage of this first 8 weeks, than if I just do it blind. So I feel that this is not uncommon for most people who are not entrepreneurs, or even if you're at the beginning of entrepreneurship, or even if you're an entrepreneur or business owner. I think a lot of us tend to play small. A lot of us want to say, well, I don't actually want to monetize, or I don't want to sell, or I don't want to make $1 million. We don't feel that we can say that. I think for one reason, we think that people who have money have it because they deserve it, or because they're better than us, or they're special, or they're lucky. And I have not found that to be true. Now, I haven't made money, but I still believe that it's about opportunities. So one thing I've seen is that wealthy people take advantage of opportunities, whereas we don't. We feel like all we can do is go to work. So that's all we do. Whereas wealthy people, they might have a profession, and then they have real estate, and then they also have some other little business, and maybe they also have a drop shipping business, all these things. And it's not because they're better than us, it's just they've taken advantage of the opportunities. My friend is still going to have a blog. Why not try to monetize it? I think that's the difference in average income people and high top 3% people. One person that really always gets my ear when I see or hear anything about her is Kylie Jenner, because she had that lip kit situation and now she's doing skincare. And I feel like that's what rich people do. Take advantage of the opportunities, create more opportunities. Simple as that. But we play small because we don't think we deserve more. I think my friend feels that making money anyway outside of her full-time public service job is not respectable. So that means she only deserves the $40,000, $50,000 or whatever it is she's making at that job, because outside of that, she doesn't deserve to take advantage of any other opportunities. And I think that when we play small, we think we don't deserve it, and then we're also afraid of failing. So I can say, oh, I just would really like to make extra $500 a month, because it's easier to say that. And then if I don't, it's not really going to make that much of a difference, or it's easy to achieve, than to say, I want to create a brand and I want this to be known by everybody, because if I don't achieve that, people are going to know and I'm going to be embarrassed. And I also think that so much of our actions and our fear of failure is based on ego, which is funny because this usually is at the beginning of your journey when you don't have any money or when you haven't created an income. We're so worried about our ego. Our ego plays such a huge role in it. But then as we move down or we move further along the journey, we understand that our value is not wrapped up in what people think. Our value is who we become and what we create. So before, I was afraid to try new things because I was afraid of failing, because my ego was fragile, and if I failed, then I would believe less about myself, or I would have a weaker sense of value. Or if I failed and other people saw me fail, that knowing that they don't believe in me or that they think that I'm less than was going to impact me and impact who I saw myself as. And I do still care. I do still have moments of being vulnerable, but for the most part, it's about I'm taking control of my life, and I'm making my own choices. I'm determining my own worth, and I'm not going to stop until I feel that what I have created is a mirror of who I am. I really think it's as simple as that. So just to reiterate, you need to know where you're going before you start going. You might not be able to see the entire vision or the whole plan, but if you want to be a YouTube star, try to be a YouTube star. I don't want to be a YouTube star. That's not something that really turns me on. I want to make passive income like people do with their videos, but I don't have to be a YouTube star to do that. But if that's what you want to do, then that's what you need to be honest with yourself and try to do it. Also, I guess we have to be honest with why we want to do these things. So set your intentions, know what level you want to be at, where you want something to go, and don't let fear be a reason you don't pursue it. All right, if you like this video, please like this video. If you want more content like this, if you want to join me on my journey, then subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.